That's right. It's a magical Monday morning. And while we will melt down later today on Comics Division's channel, I'm trying not to melt down over the disappointment of Hollywood. It's likely still going to happen, but I'll try not to. I mean, I think we're all sick and tired of Hollywood and their products being so awful. I got some former Hollywood people in the news here that are going to talk about various subjects like the, believe it or not, failed version of the No King's Day. We got some really weird stuff in the mix today, but all oriented around Hollywood and business, because that's what we cover on Monday through Friday on the 6 Minute Daily. We want to say thank you for the 41,000 subscribers out there. We want to say thank you to all the wonderful members that are making that possible, and all the generous people in the chat with their tips, their donations, their promotions of the channel through memberships, the gifting of memberships. And just want to say thank you to all of you. You make a real difference. Beach Dad is here. Good morning to you. And so is Chef Eddie. Daylight savings time is a psyop to weaken our minds. That's why they do it right before elections and tax season, to take advantage of our weakened mental resistance. Happy birthday to me, except my birthday is not for a few more days. We're getting to my birthday month in November, so I'll be very grateful to get there. Of course, Tony Piacente was very generous this morning, gifting 5 Culture Casino memberships. Thank you for that. It's good to see Born in Boston out there, and all of the wrenches like Ms. Pitt Cafe, Jill Powers, and even that weatherman kind of guy. We got a few others out there that I just want to say thank you to, because you really do contribute to this show in ways you don't even know. Like our friend Morgan King, who's here all the way from Canada. Saw Griffin's View in the chat. Hopefully I can find if we've got a little bit of history. Good morning to Griffin's View. One Punch Man Tolkien fan in the house. Good morning to you, my friend. And again, thank you to Tony for that. Let's say, look at all those names go green. I love that. It's like all of a sudden, just all these people getting a chance to get unfettered truth, which is the plan, including about the meager No King's Day turnout and the disappearing humans from the events, because they just kind of all bailed at the same time. I wonder if that was like the time clock. Like, you have to be here from here to here to get your pay. I don't know. But Penny's here. It's good to see you, dear. And if you want, check out today's video. A lot of you have and commented already, so I want to say thank you about that. Man, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of you out there. But our friend Robert just dropped a super duper chat in the house. That's right, for 2 Culture Casino cash to say, sad news. Need another... Oh, no. Why do you need another surgery, bro? Oh, man, I'm so sorry. Robert, that stinks, man. I'm grateful you're here. Let me know when. I will pray for you, as always. All right, friends, here we go. 6 minutes starts now. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are and wherever you're watching. Thanks for checking out the 6 Minute Daily. We have a lot to talk about, not a lot of time to do it in. So let's start first with Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's right, he was on Real Time, and he slams Proposition 50 as a big scam. Says the Democrats should win because of their performance, and they can't, which is, well, embarrassing. Amongst other things he said that made a lot of sense. You have to remember, this was the governor, one of 2 Republican governors that came out of the 80s, 90s action era. I'm going to tell you right now, Arnold's right. If you can't win on the merits of your arguments and your policies, you shouldn't. Speaking of things that shouldn't happen, the box office shouldn't have tanked completely. As I reported this morning in this morning's video, if you haven't seen already, I pinned it to the top of the chat on the tube side. I will tell you, I'm disappointed. This is absolutely a crash, a collapse, as Pro said this morning, and many others. We were all thinking the same thing. We didn't coordinate, but we all made kind of the same video. Hollywood's dead. And, you know, even with decent films like Black Phone 2, which grabbed 10.7 million opening day, which means it was like 3 million on Thursday and 7 million on Friday. Did pretty decent overall, but Good Fortune, which was Keanu Reeves, as an angel project, that completely collapsed. I think the idea was found to be faulty, on top of the fact that it had Seth Rogen in it, which will pretty much destroy any movie nowadays. We got, of course, this. That's right. The explanation of why South Park is suddenly entering its 28th season this week. It's because of the breakup, the way the guys break up the seasons. And there's they have a midway break that most people forget about before it returns. And with these extra in between episode breaks of like a week or so, that's another problem. But they're only 10 episode seasons now, so who knows? What I do know is this: Donald Trump commutes the sentence of George Santos. This is not a move I would have made. The guy did commit a bunch of crimes, but he got sentenced for his sentencing was more related to what party he was in than anything else. And the sentence was commuted. Again, not an action I would take, because there's low upside to it, or very little, if any. Jimmy Kimmel, Robert De Niro, Glenn Close, and more were speaking out in support of No Kings protests. We're rising up again. Not very much, pretty meager, and pictures are taken in a particular way on purpose. And a lot of stuff is AstroTurf. Again, on the Tuesday show tomorrow, on the Thank You for Your Attention to This Matter, I'm going to show you the 2017 Women's March, which was the footage that MSNBC used to try to, show us what was happening live. It's a lie. It was a lie. It's always lying, constantly. By the way, The Atlantic decided that resistance is cringe, but it's also effective. That's not true. Memes are effective. Cringe is not. In fact, a lot of people may lose their jobs because of the cringe, including a teacher at Nathan Hale Elementary, which we'll talk about again tomorrow. We've got Vinny Malhotra exiting the Obama's Higher Ground. I don't think that's going to be a very popular production company at this point. And he was the president there of I think operations or whatever, but he'd worked formerly for Showtime, and just kind of, is walking away from this. I think a lot of people are walking away from anything tied to the Obamas. We got Paramount, Skydance, mass layoffs starting officially week of October 27 going into November. So we should be starting to see that. Let's see, soonish. Yeah. That's specific. Tom Otto just wrapped his feature directorial debut. The comic actually is very talented. I want to see what this breakup pill actually is. We got CNN launching their new subscription service. That's launching October 28th at $7 a month. And nobody wants to pay for this in the first place, but they're going to try to make a streaming service again, which, how long did the last one last? I think about a month before it got closed up and shut down. We got a cargo aircraft skidding off the Hong Kong runway into the sea. It ended up killing 2 airport workers, and lots of other issues with flights right now with China. I wonder what those are. We've got Trump suggesting U.S. will buy Argentinian beef to bring down the prices for American consumers. That sounds good to me. And hopefully won't be injected with anything. Wall Street rises to finish its best 2 months after bank stocks stabilized. Oh, that sounds good. I wonder what's happening in the market today. I hope it's good news. White House has joined Blue Sky, immediately trolls Trump opponents in the funniest way possible. Drunk 3PO ran the clip this morning on his Welcome to the Rebellion podcast, which was brilliant. We end up with China's economy slowing to 4.8% annual growth. It's well lower than that. They're lying to us. Globally, everybody knows that. Trump offers U.S. automakers some additional relief from tariffs. We're going to see how that materializes. I suspect that Canada is going to want to get back in, too. Maybe they'll figure things out. And finally, today's bear story is that an Alaska bear gives trash cans CPR, trying to extract things from it. And there he is. Open. Anyway, be bear aware. And seal up your garbage cans, your recycle bins, etc., etc. I thought you guys might find that fun. Oh, super fun, actually. I'm telling you what, he's working really hard. He really was. Just so anyway, it is what it is. All right, we're going to take a look at some bonus stories this morning. I want to say an additional thank you to everybody out there who contributes, because y'all do in your own way, which I super much appreciate. Super much. Super bigly. Super bigly. For example, Karadwin gets crazy generous by gifting 5 Culture Casino memberships out there. Again, we grow. And I just want to say thank you for that. Look at all the names turn green. You guys are just crazy this morning, and I say thank you. I said I love you, and she said thank you. That's an old Friends joke. All right, let's see who else is out there in the world. We have the Hell Priest out there. We got the lovely Juliet working very hard out there. I want to say an extra special, and I know I said this already, but an extra special thank you to the wrenches on all the platforms that I'm on. You guys are great. That's right. Morning Culture Crew, says Barry. Fat Elvis is here. He's going to tell you to drop that thumbs up. If you haven't hit the thumbs up button already, why? And don't forget, if you're watching on the replay, many of you do on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, because we go a little longer, go ahead and leave a comment for sure. Let us know, at least say hashtag replay gang, because, I mean, that's kind of important. And Donovan Bradford is here. What's up, Donovan? Good to see you, buddy. David is in the house. What's up, David? I could say David, but I'm just going to say David. Another disaster in the works for CNN. Yes. Yeah. How long did the last one last? Oh, a month. Basically a month. Nobody wants to pay $7 for a disaster. I don't think. I mean, let's say, well, CNN streaming before lasted longer than Concord, and roughly the same amount of money spent, I would imagine. Dean Krantz is in the house. So is me and my monkey. Griffin's View. Yeah, no King's bologna sausage is a hypocritical load of garbage. I agree. You people won't kneel to our culture, our cultist dogma. Well, throw a temper tantrum until you get out of our way. Except that doesn't work. It usually gets people ginned up, like me. It means all of a sudden I'm now doing political shows when I was really, oriented around entertainment shows. So it's just different. Stefan Lear says, Culture Casino, I'm having brain surgery in January. Appreciate any prayer you can throw up. Indeed, I will, Stephen. I will, I'll put you in my, my prayer list. I have a long and growing one, but, I don't mind. I want y'all to be healthy and doing well. Be wealthy in the things you want to be wealthy in as well. So, because there's a lot of ways to be wealthy. It's not always about money, but I do want you all to be healthy. I appreciate you out there. So you are officially in my prayers. Canadian Spider-Man, who's Canadian, says USA, USA, USA. We got another super duper chat from Pilgrim Media. Says, let justice be done through though the heavens fall. Indeed. Yes. You know what? I haven't played a thank you clip in a while. Let's do that. Because I owe you all big thanks. Bigly. We got over 41,000 and finally stayed above that number. It's hard, by the way. YouTube is very much anti-culture casino. My channel is under attack. Griffin's View says October. Really? October 19th was my birthday. Not a big moment in history, but it makes me happy. Well, it made me happy too. So let me sing to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Griffin's View. Happy birthday to you. And many more. There you go. All in one breath. The lovely Cynthia Carter is out there. Hey, the No Kings is great for helping me weed bozos out of hobby pages on Facebook. Post your politics. Peace. Now we cannot be happily unaware of each other forever. Or we can be happily unaware. I think that's great. I think that's great. And John the Beagle Dad is here. What's up, John? Okay, I have to highlight the most talented man on the internet, Andy Masterson. Is also one of the nicest guys you'll ever know. Got to hang out with him and some other wonderful human beings, and I really like doing that. Extreme Meme is here. Says CNN Plus streaming 30 days, Superman 2025 in theater 35 days. That's true. By the way, if you're Warner Brothers, what were you doing thinking that Peacemaker was going to make DC Universe better? And why would you pull Superman when Peacemaker is going to be coming up? Were you worried about the direct comparison? I would be. What does Putin say? I love all the butt hurt because you didn't get the invites to what? Invites to what? I'm lost on. Brian and Cindy say about the same. Had an MRI on it, and they screwed up, so no results. Really? Insurance company says no second one either. Oh, that stinkifies. That's terrible. You should go after the hospital. That's what do they call that? A malpractice case, at least. Or get them to give you everything for free, plus an extra day stay in the hospital. Canadian Spider-Man says, jealous, Culture Casino? Sure. I want to hang out. Wait. Why does it keep jumping on me? Here we go. I want to hang out with Andy Masterson and have fun. Oh, it was a blast. Yeah, it's fantastic. All right. Hey, the Batcap is here. I hope everything is going well. I still am praying for you and your family because that's what I do. All right, let's get into some stories, guys, because I don't want to lose any of you to chat. Let's talk about what Jimmy Kimmel thinks is important, because I mean that's what we're here for, right? That Park Place dropped an article this morning. You can go and read it for yourself, but let's get to it right now. I need to squish it. Let's squish it. Ah, squish it. Squish it real good. There you go. Jimmy Kimmel brings back Drag Queen Storytime segment featuring children being read Eric Trump's memoir on Disney TV. What? Yeah, this was a thing. Sorry, Tobach. I faked you out. CNN. No, it's not CNN, but it's what's happening to CNN. Here you go. ABC's Jimmy Kimmel Live has revived its recurring drag queen storytime segment, where a drag performer in a dress and makeup sits with a group of children to read them excerpts from conservative books and mock them. All right. Indoctrination? Sure. Stupid? Also sure. Regardless. This time, performer Trixie Mattel, a biological male dressed as a woman, read excerpts from Under Siege, My Family's Fight to Save the Nation, a newly released memoir by Eric Trump, to a group of children on national television. The segment overview, the episode was aired on Wednesday, October 15th, marking the show's first drag queen story time since Jimmy Kimmel Live returned to air earlier this fall. Kimmel's previous season had faced controversy and a brief cancellation following his false on-air claim linking the alleged the alleged shooter of the Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk to conservative supporters of President Trump. Yeah, well, he lied a lot. I mean, Kimmel does that. It's okay. I mean, that's part of free speech, believe it or not, is lying. Liars. Politics do it. Politicians on both sides do it all the time. It's one of the only times you'll hear me say on both sides. So, but it it's almost a requirement of politicians to be able to lie. Anyway, dressed in women's clothing and full makeup, Mattel opened the segment by greeting the assembled children and asking, "Do I scare any of you?" This is very contrived. let's be straight on that. You just look amazing. Why would that be scary? Sid one. They weren't coached at all, by the way. Anyway, that is so affirming. Bleh. Thank you so much. You guys look amazing too. Terrifying. Terrifying. Here's the weirder thing, right? Saying because that is, after all, a democracy. As of this morning, it's still a democracy. I'm not sure. Conflating these things is a problem. Because if it were put to a vote across this nation, um, I don't believe the majority would select the opportunity for people to designate themselves, a fir tree, a squirrel, or whatever it is that they have a fantasy in their mind about. Anyway, I mean, you certainly could call yourself that, but people would not have to recognize you as such. So, anyway, among the books presented so far, I guess, are Who Cares About Elderly People? Collectible Spoons of the Third Reich, and Eric Trump's Siege, Under Siege. When asked if they would prefer a book by President Trump, the children responded in unison, no. Of course they did. They were coached or taught, or they're actors. They're extras in Garbage Time. Speaking of which, we have some comments on that from Is This Live for Two? Canadian Buckaroos says, despite rumors to the contrary, Cece isn't a wanker. Well, thank you for that. Yeah, a lot of folks in the UK have called me that. The majority seem to like me, though. But thank you for that. Is This Live? And on top of that, our good friend Is This Live gives 5 Culture Casino memberships. Well, thank you for that. That's very kind. So the story goes on and on and on, and just talks about uh, leadership in our country being a little problematic, and one of the children said, as Mattel read, "Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Instead of skipping this page, we should skip the entire book." And another said, "Can we skip story time and just go straight to lunch?" I'd say yes. Look at the casting for the kids, everybody. Look at that. Crazy. I'm not really interested in this. Um So, as of publication, ABC and Jimmy Kimmel Live have not issued official statements addressing public reactions to the segment, which were very bad. Clips of the show have now been circulated widely on social media platforms where debate continues over the inclusion of minors in skits involving drag performances and politically charged content on Disney owned TV. Well, there's that, but I assure you they will go on, and they probably will play that song as they go on too. All right, folks, I'm interested in what you have to say or think about this particular type of practice on Kimmel's shows. Um, I mean, he's being intentionally provocative, as the French people or the some of the Canadians up north will say, provocateur. Um, but yeah, yeah, I'm not a huge fan, but I don't like indoctrination of any type. And here's the weird thing: I'm going to say something publicly so that nobody misunderstands me. Hey, what's this? Where several people were put in drag. I don't know about that, but what I do know is I've been to drag shows. I think one of the greatest, funniest, and most awkward political movie made that I enjoy um, featured drag. If you guys have seen the Birdcage, the American version, the English version, and not the French uh, version, I think that's one of the most brilliant pieces of things done. But I mean, in my younger days, for the entertainment value of seeing drag performances, and you know what, some of them are very good. Um, so there you go. Just so you know, we got another gifty from the great and powerful Ruby Hoove. I hope you're doing well, dear, and I hope that Hoove is doing well. The big Hoove. You guys are just super on fire. Angela Richter says, I can't membership gift. I don't know why I'm not blocking it. We obviously just saw one. And thank you for trying, though, Angela Richter. Fine. Evil network, says Tobak. I agree. Disney has compromised whatever values they had since Walt died. I really did feel like Eisner's leadership led us back to a good company for a while before he started to look for to satisfy the spreadsheet mafia that has invaded corporate America for too long. I think that it should just be a good practice of ethics that you need to start in the low tiers of a company and work your way up in order to understand all of the nuance of how it is run, operated, and how it contributes not just to the pocketbooks of their investors, but also to the results of what the company is oriented around, which is guest satisfaction, at least when it comes to an entertainment property. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not satisfied. I don't know about you. Georgia Peach thinks, yeah, because this will increase his audience. Oh, no. No, it won't. Of course not. Both ABC and CNN. You know, I probably should have put both on the thumbnail, but this is last night's thumbnail. And the story about story time that I wanted to cover finally dropped on that Park Place. So, by the way, I have another video I'm going to try to release for you today on the battle over DiCaprio's additional flop. We're going to start counting DiCaprio flops now, which is sad. He used to be a decent actor. You could count on for an entertaining time despite the script, but this one battle after another, not so much. So we're going to talk about the commentary around that in a later video today. I just need to record it. Yeah, it's wild. Keep it real says here. I saw you. I saw you. What else is happening? Commander Ed Straker of Shadow says, jammy kibbles equals human bowel movement. Yeah. Yeah. Putin's cat says, don't tell Ted Cruz. Oh, I won't. I won't. It's funny because that used to be common form of entertainment for everybody. There's actually was a really good review show in Vegas, but different conversation. The lovely Dragon Queen is here and has been here for 4 months as a member. Thank you, Dragon Queen. Your bear? Your bear is in my community page, Culture. I will check it out. Thank you. You are so kind. You guys are so kind. I love it. Chan Monroe says, I think they see Jimmy Kimmel hasn't figured out what Fanny means, or funny, excuse me. I put an A where the U was. Mocking conservative stuff is not inherently funny. You got to actually tell jokes. Look, I'm going to tell you right now. I think when you hit both sides, you create more credibility because all political stuff can be at fault at times. So there's that. Toback says, I identify as a meat popsicle. Great Fifth Element reference. Man. Fat Elvis says, I don't think they know what the word means. Funny? Yeah, I don't think so either. Born in Boston says, we should get people to stream watching Super Bowl to watch Turning Point during Bad Bunny halftime show. Imagine the crowds all watching on their devices at the Super Bowl. I think that would be incredible, right? What I want to do is I want to stream the stream about the Super Bowl on my channel. I want to watch what Turning Point does for halftime. I think it's going to be spectacular. And it's going to remind us what it is to be American. Because if anything, the NFL is distinctly American. They may be trying to push it internationally, much to the players' harm, potentially. You heard what happened in Dublin. In fact, I covered it here in one of the 6-minute dailies. But I really do feel like while we want football to be a global game, not soccer football, but our version of football. I still think that's a fool's errand. It's culturally tied in this country. Is this live for another Canadian too? Says, despite rumors. Oh, wait, no, that's not. That was a while ago. Man, I'm way behind. I'm 10 minutes behind in the chat. You guys didn't tell me. Angela Richter made it work. She gifted a CultureCasino membership. Thank you so very much, Angela. You're very kind. And I still love the big kitties. Big kitty. Yeah, lions and tigers and bears. Oh, my. Oh, my. What are you talking about? No, Putin's cat. I was talking about the fact that it was like they went through and picked one of everything. Yeah. And look, Hollywood is only capable of representing the 19 blocks that is Hollywood. And I think about 5 or 6 people in this chat actually get what that means. Can we skip? I did skip the segment. I stopped. I ended it. Mr. Awesome's in the house. So's Toby Moss. What's up? Why not take them to a strip show too? Okay, that's a little different. Yeah, let's not do that. No, kids should not be exposed to that stuff. That's true. He's only familiar with the world outside his door. Doesn't know about the flyover states. Luke's here, though. Good to see you, Luke. And Helena J is also. She says, that's not provocative that he's friends with hard drives checked. Okay. Look, if any of the rumors behind his participation in the frolickings on a particular island that is somehow still not been released to the general public, um, I suspect it is. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's gonna be interesting. And that little limited credibility he has, I wanna see anybody defend Kimmel after that. But Cat Slave has returned. Good to see you after a little glitch, and there's caveat ties. You guys are on fire in the chat. I'm looking at the green side of the equation, and I just wanna say thank you. Longest parsec over there. And of course, on the tube, we are doing rather well as well. I'm almost caught up with the chat, guys. Look out. Dragon Queen says, Culture Casino just missing everything. I'm trying not to miss things. I'm just way behind. Way behind. I'm glad that everything's starting to go the right direction for you at your household, dear. I was kind of worried about you. You were very upset. Leo's a creep. Yeah, I know that. Well, according to a famous band, people are people. So why should it be? You and I. Finish it up. Great song. People are people, so why should it be? You and I. All right. We got one more story to get to today during our little bit limited bonus time. And I would like you to go see today's video when you're done, if you wouldn't mind. It's actually on the YouTube side of the equation. It is at the top of the chat pinned. You can go there rather easily. And then if there's another location you want to travel to, well, there you go. Jimmy looks like a human hammer toe. Oh, toe box on fire today. But let's talk a little Barry Weiss. It seems like the hammer has fallen or is falling over there at CBS, especially the news division. The problem is I don't really feel like she's going to get the backup that she needs from the Ellisons, but we'll see. Well, you know what? Let me get your opinion based on an amazing article, once again by Marvin Montanaro. And for whatever reason, it's saying, no, I'm not going to share that. Please help. All right, there we go. So Bari Weiss ousts activist wing of CBS News, fires standards chief in first major move as editor in chief. So it's happening. It's as you saw prior to the weekend, and I think I covered it a little bit. NBC started to shed their woketivism by getting rid of NBC BLK, the NBC out, NBC, a bunch of other diversity garbage. In fact, they basically are trying to pretend like they're getting rid of all their diversity. So's Disney, but they're lying. They did what Microsoft did and moved into the belonging thing, which with all the same supporting language of being inclusive and stuff like that. Because I think that you cannot be attacked for being inclusive, but that's being preferential in ways you're not supposed to be legally. Anyway, so let's read the article saying Barry Weiss era at CBS News has officially begun, and she isn't wasting time making her mark in her first divisive act. Actually, he said decisive act. It's going to be divisive. As editor in chief, Weiss has removed Claudia Milne, the head of standards and practices, signaling a long overdue course correction for a network that's been struggling to find its credibility amid years of ideological drift. That's a wonderful way to write that, Marvin. Beautifully done. Milne's exit marks the first senior shakeup since Weiss took control earlier this month following Paramount's acquisition of Weiss's media platform. Yeah, the Free Press. They gave her $150 million. Not bad for 6 years' work, I would say. So, the New York Post confirmed that Milne's departure came abruptly on Thursday, with one CBS insider calling it significant. Okay. Bear with me a moment. I'm going to get some coffee. I'm low on coffee. Um, let's see. Milne's departure came, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so according to the source, Milne was part of the activist wing at CBS News, and her removal shows that Weiss is serious about reshaping editorial policy from the top down. I would agree. The standards and practices side of the equation is always oriented around some kind of ideology. And whatever that is, oftentimes it's more protective against like stuff that could rub young people wrong, appropriate language used, et cetera, et cetera. It used to be a lot more morally based. Now it's activist based garbage. Anyway, the end of the Milne era. Claudia Milne had overseen CBS's standards division since 2021, the internal office responsible for enforcing the moral, ethical, and legal framework that governs what makes it on the air. In theory, her role was to safeguard journalistic integrity. It clearly didn't, especially even recently. It's kind of garbage. In practice, her tenure became defined by censorship, selective reporting that prioritized ideology over accuracy, which is a big no. No, 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 no. Under Milne's leadership, CBS faced intense criticism for forbidding reporters from identifying the Nashville school shooter, Audrey Hale, as being a biological male who identifies as female, despite the police confirming Hale's identity and acknowledging its relevance to the case, which it was very relevant, not to mention the fact they probably were okay with hiding the manifesto that came along with that event. Those are my words, not Marvin's. Milne, the then news division president, Ingrid Cyprian Matthews, whew, that's a lot of words, reportedly spent over 15 minutes instructing staff not to mention the shooter's gender identity, claiming it might not be relevant. It was 1000% relevant to motive. This is, you don't hate the legacy media enough. You don't hate the liars enough. That's all I have to say about that. Facts matter. I think you all will agree. And that's why we're going to go investigate some facts tomorrow about the No King's Day garbage fest. That'll be fun. That order sparked outrage both inside and outside the newsroom. Too many CBS journalists. It was a breaking point that exemplified the network's growing fear of telling inconvenient truths. The facts were there, but CBS chose silence. Anyway, this goes on and on. One of the most seasoned journalists and most respected was Harridge. If you haven't seen her, Catherine Harridge has been on X for a while, revealing all the truth she wasn't allowed to on CBS. She's a good follow, and you get information that you wouldn't get otherwise. So Harridge was going to be interviewing Elon Musk in 2023 after his purchase of X. Musk had requested that the conversation be broadcast live. CBS refused, worried, according to sources, about what he might say in real time. Harridge later remarked, "Isn't that the point of journalism? Don't you don't know what the person's going to say?" And I agree. You can tell people what your standards are on your channel. If you're a YouTuber like me and you bring them on, I have no idea what any of these people are going to say. I don't know what their life experience has been, but they'll be able to tell me and relate it from that position, whatever it is we talk about. That happens in real time when we're trying to present something in a funny way on my late night culture show on Sunday nights. I didn't know that Carrie was going to make it. I was very sorry, guys. I was very thankful that she did. And then Jason showed up at the end last night, and I had no idea what he was going to say. Do you know what I don't do? I don't worry about the people that I trust saying something that is going to destroy my channel. I just don't. What I worry about is somehow something getting on the air that nobody intended to get on the air. That happens. And sometimes it embarrasses people or doxes people. And I don't like that. So, a new direction under Weiss is definitely underway. Barry Weiss, once a New York Times editor and founder of the Free Press, has stepped into the role with a mandate to restore balance and integrity to CBS. Her hiring came as part of a sweeping deal that brought about the Free Press being part now of their news efforts and under the CBS umbrella. Paramount executives reportedly gave Weiss near total authority to reshape the newsroom's tone and policies. And I hope so, because it desperately needed it. You can go on to read this article over on, one of the places you'll find me occasionally writing, That Park Place. And I think I might have an article or two to come out in the next month or so, because I have things to say. Man, allergies are crazy bad right now. There's my friend. John Coleman says, challenge accepted, Culture. It's great to see you, buddy. I don't know which challenge I laid out there. I did tell you all last night, if you were paying attention, that apparently Six sent me some wonderful video during the course of a live stream with my friends who were being a little rough with me. And the chat was being a little rough with me, to be fair. That at 100,000 subscribers for this channel, I would shave my chest on camera. That won't be clipped or memed at all. Of course it will. Tom's like, gee, I never get an invite. Tom, if you want to come on, we'll figure it out. John, I promise you that wasn't a challenge, my friend. John's one of the coolest people ever. I love it. All right. I'm not going to wax it. That hurts. I've seen ladies get their eyebrows waxed, and I'm like, no, thank you. Of course, I've seen ladies get their mustaches waxed, but that's a whole other conversation. Anyway, Is This Live says, are they really your friends if they aren't rough with you? That's true. What's the saying? Good friends will tell you the hard truth. It's true. They're the only ones to be honest with you. Tony Piacente says, I hope Bari remembers to clean out HR also. Yeah, I would get rid of all of them. Start again. Nobody's allowed to have a humanities degree. No gender studies in my HR. See ya. It means you're already indoctrinated to the woke. Because you think you need to study genders. Outside of biological differences, are you truly being egalitarian if you have to study bologna sausage and then try to figure out if there's more than two genders? I don't know about that. That's a question to y'all. Istophobos, what's up, buddy? Says, he's talking to Luke. Yeah, Luke's been doing really well lately. If you don't follow Luke, you should. Yeah, 400 copies will be made available. That's so awesome. He's been working hard. Pat him on. Good guy. Holy cow! There's Clifflix. Oh, you guys go check out Clifflix right now on the tube and other places. Clifflix is somebody who kind of reminds your heart what it was like to love Disney at its apex and many other things. He has an incredible eye and a deep understanding of the world around him and what beauty is. So anyway, Clifflix says, I got here. Did you see that Soren went full MAGA? Soren Over America announced today. Why is Burbank being so pro-America all of a sudden? First of all, I did not see that news. So you are breaking news live. Another reason to check out Clifflix and follow him. But I did not see that. But does that surprise me? No, they need to be profoundly American. They need to pretend that they have dumped DEI and all the terrible ideas that come with it. But it's clearly obvious, and this is maybe one of the stories I can get to today or tomorrow on a video form. They have to appear like they've done that, but the minute they use the word belonging and participating in the belonging garbage, we know that they've not moved on. They may have renamed things and repositioned people, but they still have their DEI director on board, just in a different job title. It's complete phony baloney garbage, and there's thousand reasons the company sucks right now, but ideological drive is what it is primarily that's destroyed that company. So, but hey, I mean, soaring over America sounds great. I mean, soaring over California. I mean, now if they update that movie, it's like poop maps and homeless camps and all kinds of other things. So America's better. It's a broader look. Maybe that's a little hand wave to the Trump administration. I don't know. That would seem what it is to me, Cliff Licks. I'm not sure what you think, my friend. Hope to get to see you in Florida this year. Let's see, because I think all the guys are going. Um, and thanks for the super chat. Caveat Ties says, "Good friends will stab you in the front. Bad friends will stab you in the back." Probably true. Probably true. Morgan King says, "I have a clip that you would wear the slave Leia for 100K. I might do both. I mean, I may have to shave my chest to to pull off slave Leia. Not all of us. Not all of us can be film threats. Frank Gore. John Coleman says, I found my grandmother's school papers from the 70s. Oh, really? She called the 60 genders proposed in her psych class bologna sausage. Yeah, they've been trying to insert this Marxist stuff and indoctrinate people into those ideas. Uh, well, since, the communists decided to take over Hollywood, and I'm going to say it right here. McCarthy was right. Hollywood should have installed some kind of ideological governance that would not allow for it to be injected into things. That would have fixed Hollywood right. But hey, it is what it is. Our good friend, Is This Live, says it's almost lunchtime, making me, I'm sorry. I didn't want to make you yak. That is bad form. I apologize. John, thank you for that addition. I appreciate it. Look, there is a lot not great in the world, but sometimes I try to cover the things that are going great, and a lot of our independent creators are going very well. I hope you check out Robert's independent film that he made called 15 Days. It's free on Tubi, so you can go check it out on Tubi for free. I would encourage you to do so. Check out what Luke's working on. Luke's got that set up as well. Go check out. Is it called Invicta or whatever? Drump's working on that. I love the idea of the pirates stories. I love them. Pirate stories are some of my favorite, along with Western stories. Um, in fact, one of the better Westerns is a sci-fi Western, which most people don't seem to understand, written by Edgar Rice Burroughs. John Carter of Mars, and that entire series is brilliantly done. If you're looking for something you can hand to your kids to read and feel like it's good, C.S. Lewis wrote a series that you probably are all familiar with, The Chronicles of Narnia. And starting with book one, you certainly can, but I believe it's book two or three, or maybe even four, where the real story of the Pensieves. Um, that's probably not their name. I'm just trying to remember it. I think that's related to Harry Potter, but regardless, uh, those kids are fantastic. Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and everything forward to that. There's a really good chance that Greta Gerwig is going to destroy that. And if they do, it's unforgivable to destroy such wonderful Christian writing. So there's that. Pruning my comments now. No, I've not touched anything. John Coman says, and Netflix is about to wipe their butt with Narnia. Yeah, I think that's true. It's a brilliant set of books. Lots of high quality morals, values, ethics, things that we should be passing to kids unadulterated, which is exactly what Netflix intends to do. So yeah. Cat Slave says on the green side of the equation, I actually like the John Carter movie. You know what? It wasn't as bad as you would think, but once Disney controlled the other boy icons, they knew they couldn't. You can't do anything with the John Carter series to feminize it more. It's going to be about as effeminate in places as it gets, which is not at all. And it really does make the women revered without being, fake heroes and heroines or anything like that. Maid of Mars is probably one of those books that really, kick the idea of feminizing men in the teeth uh, and emasculating or driving masculinity into women. Deja Thoris is a brilliant character. Anyway, I can talk about that stuff forever, but it is what it is. Um, Disney killed the series yet again. Yeah, they killed it right away. After the first movie was iffy and they spent too much on it. Yeah. Well, there's another Bronze Man I can't wait for them to try to do. I think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be amazing. All right, Disney killed the series yet again. I think I highlighted that. Thank you, Tom. All right, let's get moving. I don't know where I'm sending you guys. Who's live now that you would like to time travel to? I'm curious. I'm going to go look and see if I recognize anybody. If you guys want to drop that in there, I'd appreciate that. Let's see. I know some of these people that are doing these shorts, and I'm kind of worried for them. Let's see. Oh, you know what? You guys like Tabitha. She's a talented artist. She's a very nice people. So you can go and watch her now live. Let me send you over to the lovely Dreaming Tabitha. Let me see if I can get you there. Customize. You should check out all her works. She has some amazing shorts as well. She's been doing really good stuff over there. Plus, she taught me how to paint, which I didn't think anybody could do. Because I am not. I'm autistic. I'm not artistic. So there's that. So yeah, and Midnight's Edge in the Morning is also live. It's a real shame now that they did their time change because I kind of miss being over there. So on that note, I'll say it this way: be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, see ya. For real.